of the problem. It's practically a 360 degrees overview of all the issues involved. So what I would like to do in the remaining 20 minutes before we break for lunch is to have a conversation with the audience. If there are, I should almost say, burning questions for the panel, things that have not been mentioned and which you think we have to discuss.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, so I'm Estefania Jimenez from Municipal Waste Europe. I represent public waste management companies, a public responsibility for the management of municipal waste. So my members are involved in separate collection, but also some of them have incinerators. Some of them also have to manage landfills. And even sorting, and even a few have also recycling facilities for municipal waste. So I saw that in the video it's mentioned fire insurance, and I would like to tell you that my members more and more often are reporting their difficulties to get in their facilities insured, and this is a problem because of either their policies are too high for them and not non-affordable for these public companies, or even the insurances are reluctant even to insure at all waste management facilities. And this is not only related to we, but also to other streams like maybe Post Plus also highlighted before the problems in their facility. So, and I saw in the guidance you published, there is a point on the fire insurance, but it's focused on we. So I would like to hear what's the solution for this, because as I said, very often they need to have a fire insurance before as a precondition to invest in new facilities or to get a loan or a grant. So it's really a barrier for the implementation of circular economy.
Thank you very much. So you heard in the film that the insurance premium for that facility went up by a factor of 14. So who wants to respond to that question?
Answer your question. I think we shouldn't run away from the problem, because this is what insurance companies are doing. Yeah, they pretend we don't insure or increase it, so we make it so big that we have no problem anymore. It's your issue. But as you very well said, in order to start a business, you need to have an insurance. We are lucky because we are part of a big group called Green Group in Romania, so we own quite a lot of business in recycling. So we have quite a big insurance company. In fact, it's a trader of insurance. Anyhow, and we got the insurance. But indeed, I know recyclers, I will not name them, that created their own insurance company. I'm not joking. Yeah. They created their own insurance company in order to insure their companies. Yeah. This is crazy. This is, I told you, we're running away from the problem. And there is one thing that we shouldn't, because the problem or the challenge, let me be more kind. Yeah, the challenge is there, and we have it, and it will be more and more. I don't want to be, how to say, catastrophic about it, but look, we saw the movies there from 2016 to 2020. Yeah, and you can see exactly, and I know exactly what those people felt, because I was there and I felt it also. So I hope I try to answer a question, but I think Axel can continue.
Yeah, just to give some compliment about it, I think we also have to understand the insurance. We don't have to fight them. We have also to understand them. The fact is, why the cost is increasing, it's because in all the waste area, I don't speak only about we, but all the waste area, they just notice that there is too many events, and that maybe the action plan that was taken by the waste area is not enough. It's not sufficient for them. It's true that for some facilities, we don't have yet all the extinguisher in place. We don't have yet all the detection in place. And because we are not all on the same level, the number of events is increasing, and it's what companies are watching. And that's why if they are not aware exactly of what you put in place in your facility, they will just take the general overview and they will just say, okay, the danger is too high for us. It's too much a risk for us. That's why it's important to involve them and to explain, okay, maybe in general in the waste industry, there is a high number of events, but look also our action plan, our detection system, extinguisher system, and so on.
So can I just respond to this point? Because could it be a solution whereby you have some kind of a grading system or labeling system whereby companies that invest a great deal in all the measures, they are label A, for example, but people who don't make such investments, they are label G, so that the insurance companies, they know how they could modulate their premiums. Could that be a solution?
It could be, and it's kind of what some, not all, but some insurance are already doing. It's what I wanted to say when I explained that there is this implementation step by step. Some insurance company are saying, okay, here is all the actions that you have to take at the beginning because you did none yet, you agreed with the insurer I speak about. Your insurance cost will be high, but each step that you will take, we will decrease how much money you have to put into the insurance. So that's why it's important to involve them and to define action plan and to say, okay, let's define step by step how we can improve. It is exactly the same as what you're saying. It's like a grading implementation step. Yeah.
Thank you, Axel.
Yeah. So I would like also to highlight that, in fact, the roundtable conference where this guidance document came from also involved since last year Insurance Europe, which is a federation of all European insurances, just because that the lady was saying, just not to get the blackjack basically, and they say times 20, times 100, and then you go away by yourself. That's not a solution. And although a labeling system is difficult, Pascal, why? Because there are so many different varieties of handling products and lithium batteries. You can have a normal bike shop and sell one e-bike a year. You have a very small risk. If you sell 1,000 e-bikes a year and they're all stored in one room, you have a big risk. So everybody should, at their level, make a risk analysis together with their insurance company to define a correct premium.
Hello, my name is Synne Sauer. I am working in a startup called LeTech. And I really like this discussion, and you serve some very good points when it comes to the insurance point of view. And I think for the past few years, a lot of the focus in the industry has been firefighting rather than prevention. And that's where we come in. So we have developed a sensor that is an alternative to X-ray that use magnetic induction to detect different alloys in the waste stream. So our goal is, of course, to detect batteries, but right now it's not mature enough for that. So we detect the laughing gas containers before they end up in incineration plant, which is also a explosive problem, you can say. So I was wondering if this is probably a question for you, Marius. Have you had any focus on alternative detection methods rather than X-ray, or is it, how did you end up with this method?
I'll be very brief. When we started and we did the consortium, one of the partners is focused and experienced in the X-ray. Currently, so at the time we got the project, this was the, let's say, that we have to follow, because we, first of all, it is very good. Second, it's also on the project, so it's not so easy when you got some EU funding to change about the technology during the project. But I'm telling you that we are looking at least few of us, we're looking an alternative solution for the detection. Yeah, but the biggest issue and the biggest challenge that anyone will have by developing this solution is to make it at a scale, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, and to have 100% accuracy, and to work continuously in a recycler, like you saw in the movies a little bit earlier, how things and items containing the batteries. Yeah, and this is the biggest issue. So for sure, complementing technology on top of or together with the X-ray, it will give even better results. So I'm very curious to find also about your project later. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, so there's a question online.
Yes, so the first question, I think it was to Axel, actually two of them from Federica Tomassi from ISS. So you showed some extinguishers, and the question is, do you know if these extinguishers are containing PFAS?
I cannot answer on this specific extinguisher that we try, but the PFAS problematic, yes, it's a big topic nowadays. That was mainly used. I know from extinguisher companies that they are trying to remove them step by step, all these PFAS. But on these ones that we try, I cannot say to you if they contain or not PFAS.
Okay, thank you. And another question, do you apply a root cause analysis to your risk assessment after a fire outbreaks?
So it is not our job to do it as a PRO, but it is what we recommend companies to do, of course, for them to analyze. It is all this part about the risk cultures. If an event happened, why it happened, what could be made to prevent it. And also, I think it's something that we try to do, and we didn't quite succeed yet. We wanted to create a platform for all companies in France to share their experience. The point is, it's what I try to explain, that maybe on your facility you will have 3 events, but maybe if you have a bigger scale, national scale, you will have more feedback and you will be able to learn the best practices also of what other companies are doing. Because in this kind of subjects, there is no point of keeping just for you what's happened on your facility. No one is judging if a facility had a fire event. We know that it is not what you wanted. It's not you who caused this fire. You are a little bit what was said in the video also. People are victim of it. So there is no judgment, and that's why we want to create such a platform for people to be able just to have this kind of feedback and to create all these root assessments. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Another one, if I may, it's from Björn Bischoff from German Environment Agency. It's, I think, more of a general question. Does anyone have reliable numbers for incidents of fire from we caused explicitly by lithium batteries? Or do we mainly rely on assumptions based lithium batteries appear to be the most likely the cause of the fire?
I can speak for ecosystem about our statistic at least. Yes, when there is a fire event that happen on the company, often there is the firefighters who are searching for the cause of this fire, and in our statistic it's writing, is it from the batteries, or is it most likely from the batteries, or is it something else? Maybe, for example, a gas or something. So it's something that we are monitoring also from fire event. What is the cause? When we can have this information? Of course, sometimes you can have the video of the beginning of the fire, so it's easy to know what is the cause. But when you have such a big event, if you don't have the video, you cannot be 100% sure. But from our experience, when you see a battery, just the battery itself starting exactly as it was shown in the video, there is few doubts about the cause. Yeah, at least the starting. Not maybe it's not the cause, but at least the starting of the fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there is one more from Damir from ZEOS Slovenia, so a PRO. A lot of focus was given to the removing batteries from WeFlow. I saw that some countries are trying to do that by collecting batteries with street containers made of plastic, for example, in Luxembourg. How safe is this collection? And is there a difference if the containers were made from steel? Would it be better, worse, or the same?
I can only speak for Belgium in this matter, not for Ucobat, because we indeed made the investment to make it more secure by investing in steel containers. Why? In the past, we also had some incidents, and the fact is that we often talk about compartmentation, which meaning that if as a wee handler, for example, you put a big pile of 20 tons, if a small coin battery sets fire to it, you risk that 20 tons goes up in smoke. If you make 20 small piles of 1 ton and something happens, probably if you leave enough distance or you put concrete in between, only 1 ton is burning. So with our steel containers, we are trying to do the same, basically. In the past, if something happened in one plastic container, plastic is made of petroleum, basically, and it will catch fire in the end as well. And then it will set to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And either the full pallet or maybe the full warehouse will end up in fire. With a steel container, we already had some cases where the fire, some e-bike batteries, 8 pieces, for example, burned 100%, and the paint of the container on the outside was a little bit blackened by the heat from the inside, but it contained in the steel drum. So that's why we think our investment is a good idea.
When I was at the International Electronics Recycling Congress in Salzburg a few weeks ago, there was a gentleman from BEBAT presenting the containers that you used, and it's very sturdy steel containers. So I think it's to answer your question, Damir, I think you should get in touch with Benny for more information. But Paolo, you have a question.
But we do transport the containers from the shop to our sorting facility, yeah? No, it's a steel container in Belgium. Please have a look. I can guide you to Carrefour, to Deleuze, where you want. Thank you. This one is still the old one, which we haven't replaced. That's correctly, but we cannot do 23,000 in 1 year. That's impossible.
Paolo Campanella from FEAD, the European Waste Management Association. First of all, I want to thank you all for the presentation, and all the data, and also the video was really, really interesting. We see that we really need a lot of prevention measures, a lot of protection measures, and we are also all together also trying to do our part with the guidelines. You are working on a platform, but we also need to think about who is paying for this, all of this. And this is something that it has not been addressed. It's important because there is a lot of money, and PRO have the responsibility, the producers. At the moment, they are collecting a lot of money, and they are covering the cost of the separately collected ones, not the entire batteries that end up in the waste management system. Can we think about a dedicated fund by the PRO, funded by the PRO, that can help the companies in the preventing measures, in the protection measures, and help and support the entire system to grow and increase the safety, and also to cover some of the costs of the damages?
Thank you.
You first then.
I can try at least to answer. At least from my point of view, it's quite a difficult question to answer like this on a roundtable. To be honest, I believe that these kind of things have to be well thought, because first you have to think about the increase of price if you do such a fund, because money should come from somewhere. But also after you have to think also what is the purpose of this fund if you want to build something like this. Is it something like insurance? In all cases, the risks that can be made if you create such a fund can be that some companies will be less involved in the prevention of this fire, because they know that it may be not, that it can be covered by this fund. which is not directly related to them. It depends after, I believe, but it depends how you build this kind of fund and for which purpose, and where will you take this money. So I don't think that it's something so easy that it can be answered like this without deep thought.
I'll move the mic. Thank you, Paulo, for the question and for hosting us here today. As I said in the beginning, I am a recycler. So from the perspective of a recycler, of course it comes with cost, because after we had the fire, I think we invested, I'm here with my production manager, but I think, I don't know, between 500 to 1 million, no, more, yeah, close to 1 million euro in fire prevention. Could we? At that time, we couldn't pass this cost to the EPS, yeah, because they said it was your problem. How to quantify the cost? How to split the cost? It's very difficult. Like Axel was saying, that it's very difficult to let's say here today to say, okay, we need a fund. But there is one thing that we need to do. To acknowledge one thing is not the recycler problem, because we saw the movie there and there were only two actors there, a collection point and a recycler. So this costs, like the containers were talking a little bit earlier, he was saying that, look, in 1 year we cannot spend we cannot change 23,000 points to make it to the metal. I don't want to ask, and I will ask in a little bit later, what will be the cost of this? Yeah. So it's one thing. What we can do is to acknowledge that there is an issue here, and that this cost has to come up and to be supported, because at the end of the day, it will be supported only at the end of the chain. But we didn't create the problem. As recyclers, we are trying to solve the issues, but it's already gone. It's already, the problem is in our yard, and there might be some solution to this. And I'll look on the, let's look with optimism to the issues. And I really hope in 2027, with this new directive, that we'll be able to remove the batteries again from our phones. You know about it, and I really hope this will help quite a lot from the perspective of collection points, recyclers. The other thing that I think maybe the European Commission will listen to this, we need to address the issue in a very simple way. And I look, for example, I talked a little bit earlier about the e-cigarettes. Why we don't do a take-back scheme for it, like we have for the PET bottles, for the aluminum cans and glass in some countries? Yeah, why we don't do it also for e-cigarettes? Currently, most of those cigarettes reach in the bin, yeah, and then it reaches to the sorting station, and then we have a pop fire, and then we sit all together here and we're asking who is paying for this. Yeah, and then, because someone said a little bit earlier, and with this one I'll end, the cost will move to the consumer. And Axel said also it might be difficult for the consumer to take this increase. It's like, from my perspective, if we don't have this cost cover, it's like hiding, cleaning the house and put it under the rug. And at the moment, it'll become a big pile, like a mountain. Yeah, and still the problem is there. So from my perspective, any idea, but it has to move also fast, acknowledge, first of all, that everybody is involved in this and there are costs to this, has to be addressed very, very fast, because for sure the cost of tackling this issue of fire, it will be higher and higher, higher and higher. Thank you.
Yes or no. I mean, my feedback to Paolo is that for sure it is not only, I fully agree with Marius, for sure it is not only a problem of the recycler. It is a problem that starts from the eco-design and goes through the chain till the PRO, then the collectors. The idea of a fund is a good proposal you are making, but maybe there are better ways to address the challenge, because what we saw in other similar challenges, it is that the recyclers with its own management of the procedure is the best one who is capable to know what to do. And I fully agree with Marius. There are operators already that did already investment, operators that are not starting yet. What happens in other field, it is that PROs for sure will work and are available to pay a premium price to the operators who reach minimum standards. Let's imagine with volatile fluorocarbons in the past. To manage it is not matter of fires, but it's matter of quality. The operators who do good quality has higher cost, and the PROs is giving job to the one who guarantee quality instead of giving job to the one who is not addressing the challenge. So it's a way to work where PROs and recyclers are on the same side. You see this morning how many PROs are doing jobs together with the recyclers.
Thank you, Luca. So you were saying, like, similar to Wheelabex, the PROs would only contract with facilities that meet certain minimum standards. It's one idea.
Yes, very interesting. Thank you. But so today in Belgium, the PRO for batteries collects 60% of all batteries put on the market. So that means that the funds who are collected with the producers of these batteries cover 60% of the recycling of batteries, but the 40% other who remain at the households or come to our materials like cardboard paper and all the others are not funded. The recycling is not funding, the collection is not funded, but the producers have paid for the recycling of these batteries. So in that way, a fund for all the 100% collection is not a crazy idea. And the way, and it might be difficult, yes, but difficult, that works also.
Thank you very much. One last question before we break for lunch.
Sorry, Pascal, but maybe just to highlight that, I mean, the collection rates do not really depend on recyclers or PROs for the matter. It's also a matter of consumers' involvement.
And I will add also something on this one. Consumers and PROs are paid for 100% what is put on the market. That the target is of 60% to collect, this is a different story. And this topic, I think we don't have enough time to be discussed here, but it's 100%. Who placed the product on the market doesn't pay for 60% or 65%. What is the target now? They pay for 100%. Yeah, 100% of the products they place on the market. Thank you.
Peter.
Thank you once again. Peter Novotny, Wheelabex. I don't think that to create the funds for funds in the funds, it's realistic. Don't forget how long it took to create the PROs. But coming back from the basic, coming back to the basic, insurance. This is the only thing what can create the business plans and sustainable business plans for the collection points, logistic companies, and the treatment facilities. If you don't have the standards, you cannot create the mathematic or statistic models for the creation of the risk assessment to do the job for the operators in order to receive certain insurance. And we have to start here with the real standards immediately. And I agree with Pascal here that if we don't start now, for example, with the labeling, what will happen, as Benny said, after 15 years when these products, which are already products made for the future recycling, what will happen meanwhile, and what will happen once the products are here. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone from the panel would like to respond to this question?
I'll try. Thank you, Peter, for addressing the question. You know where is the issue? We have standards currently for collection, transportation, and recycling of which are not mandatory, because a little bit earlier was said that the issue in some countries, yes, but if it's not all over Europe, what we're talking about? Yeah. So I really, or my opinion, or my hope is that with the new recast, we'll have the standards mandatory all over Europe. So people, the recyclers, yeah, as a recycler, I'm not speaking today in the name of recyclers, I use a plural, as a recycler. I really believed that when you work, by the way, GreenWheel was the first company to get the Wheel Epic certification in 2012.
A pilot certificate.
Yeah, together with Pascal, and we had a U project. Yes, official 2015. And I'll tell you one thing: we entered in that project because we really believed, and we still believe, standards will make everybody to work by the same rules and application. And this is in regards of this classification with the fire and so on. It will take another 5 years maybe to develop it, maybe another 10 years to be implemented. And then if it's not mandatory, what we are. So I'm not against it. I'm pro this, but I think we need to move much faster. And that one with the fund. I really hope that PROs are looking at the standards that your organization is given and choose those companies that have this certification. But the true story is a little bit different. And you know it, and we know it, and other people, they know it. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we are talking here about challenges, problems, fire, a lot of issues. We are talking on the, I wouldn't call it philosophical, but very, very technical way. But the reality is a little bit different, because it was addressed a little bit earlier. Why we are spending, or we are collecting only 60% when on the market are put 100%, and where is the difference, and why we don't collect more? It's a matter of cost at the end of the day. And this is what some people, they don't acknowledge. As I said a little bit earlier with an insurance, it's a matter of someone has to pay that bill. If you do the correct things, and once we start to put the discussion in this way, I think the solution will appear. Who will pay? It will be a fund, it will be multiple funds or whatever. I think the solution will be found. But it's very difficult to take one by one and to say, we solve this one, we move to the other one. In my opinion, it has to be all together in the same time. And standards, yes, will help us a lot if applied unitary in all Europe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marius. I suggest we break for lunch here.